Alright, gang, we are at the bay. Hey, you are looking at a long piece of lead right there. But anyway, gang, at the bay, and the tide is out there. And yeah, gang, I am so tickled to be back on this site. I just cannot tell you. Because there is so much of a wide variety of stuff to find in this general area. I'm telling you, new stuff, old stuff, and in between stuff. But anyway, gang, I mean, there is just so much stuff. I even came across a large piece of pig iron, and but unfortunately, that sucker is heavy, and there's probably about a mile to do back to the car. So I'll probably be going back for it sometime. Horseshoe! Hey, look at the horseshoe and other rusty bits, and I tell you, even the colonial era ceramics are lying in bits and pieces along this stretch of beach, and quite neat to look at. And the driftwood. And anyway, gang, like I said, there's just so much to look at, and really, I tell you what, I could spend the entire day here even without the metal detector. And oh, look, there's a looks like a piece of crockery. Oh, no, earthenware. And but yeah, gang, there is just so much to the letter S. Anyway, there's just so much to look at here. Anyway, stay tuned. Alright, gang, here we are at the USS Vicuna at the Independent Seaport Museum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hey, look, the Delaware River. Anyway, it sits here alongside the USS Olympia. It's a cruiser, and that cruiser there was launched back in 1892. But anyway, yeah, you know what? Yeah, gang, right back to our submarine. Now, the USS Vicuna, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correct, but anyway, gang, it was launched on January the 30th, 1944, and it saw most of its action in the Pacific. And we're going to try and manage these stairs. These stairs are not made for big feet, not whatsoever. And we're heading down in the front torpedo room, and we're going to start working our way back through. Those passageways are so narrow and hard to get through, especially for an old guy. Oh my goodness. Anyway, gang, there is the small galley there, and then there's the officers' mess. And there's a separate mess, a smaller mess than the officers' dining area, and there's a little bit of the officers' bunk area. And gang, just so you can get a grasp of how many people were on the submarine, basically there was room for 10 officers and 72. Yes, that's right, 72 enlisted men. That's an awful lot of people on this ship. But anyway, gang, you can tell everything is so compact and whatnot. And like the sinks, they fold up. That makes extra room. And oh my goodness, it was actually quite amazing. And all ships, they all have that same kind of machinery type smell to them. I don't know what it is, but it's just that scent that lets you know, hey, you're on a boat. But anyway, gang, it is just a marvel to go through. Ah, here's another one of those portholes. You know, there's the yeoman shack. And these doorways are not made for old or tall people. Ben, the giant Garrett detectorist, I don't know how he would make out in the submarine. Because, yeah, gang, I'm only 5'11", and I felt rather tall. But anyway, it's kind of neat how they got the lighting in here for, the actual main room there. And but anyway, we just kind of keep on moving. I was trying not to get in the way of too many people, trying to take my time and get shots, but at the same, there's the radio room, and get shots, but kind of not, hold up anybody. And we are now going into the main galley, and on the other side of the main galley is the regular enlisted men's mess. And you see they got table games. Everything really had a multi-purpose. Everything was multifunctional. They usually served a couple of different things going on. And I tell you what, now we were actually heading back to the bunks. And it's really, really hard to imagine having so many people just crammed into this little confined space. I tell you what, I'm sure you got a boot upside the head if you happen to be a snorer. But anyway, gang, I tell you, and it was also kind of neat too how they kind of folded up. I was kind of curious then. I still am curious if they got folded up during the day or if they were always laid out. I don't know. Hey, what's that? Ah, a toilet. Hey, okay. Anyway, yep, cruise head. Oh, there's another one. Anyway, gang. So also too back over here is a couple of sinks and where you have other places where you take care of the necessaries. And back through here, it's going to make it through the yep. Anyway, here are, I believe, four 16-cylinder diesel engines. And I just can't quite imagine how loud they must have been, but I'm sure they made a ruckus. And we're going to try and manage this other doorway. Here. Oh, yep. Back in. Yep. And that's why young guys are on submarines, because they can get through those doorways. And here's more of the engine room. 16 cylinders. I tell you what, that sucker probably had really, what was it, 1,600 horsepower? Holy cow. Let's see, there's a, yeah, okay, I couldn't help it. No, it did not start. But anyway, gang, I tell you, and if for a guy with aquaphobia, going ahead and pushing a button on a submarine that says start, I don't know. They should hook up like some automated noise to it, so it actually sounded like it was starting when you hit the button. That would be that would, oh my goodness. You're trying to through yeah. So anyway, this very narrow passageway here, here's all the electronics, all the batteries and generators and etc. are in this little caged area. And I was kind of when I went through this a second time, I really kind of took a closer look at it. And I tell you what, some of the output for this was highly, I don't want to say impressive, but just to say you would die. And hence, I guess, all the caging. More stuff to, no, don't touch. But anyway, gang, we're going to try and manage ourselves back through this other little hatchway here. And here. And always got to mind your head going through there. And there's a life preserver, and we've got some actual dummy torpedoes in here. I'm calling them dummy. I'm kind of taking that with some faith that they are dummies. And back in the back torpedo room there. So I tell you what, if you ever have the chance, do stop by the Independent Seaport Museum and go through the ships they have there, the submarine and the World War I cruiser. Hey, you lady! Hey! Hi! Anyway, gang. But, yeah, it's very well worthwhile. And they, like I said, they have the two boats there, the two ships, and they also have an interpretive center there, a building with nautical stuff. Anyway, gang, let's try and get up out of here. Getting back up and out was a whole lot easier than getting in. Anyway, gang, stay tuned. There will be more.
Please.
Oh, no, I'm all right, thanks. The cat gave me such a terrible fright. But you needn't come for me tonight, Black Hook. I'm not ready.
Come for you?
He was hanged for murder and piracy over 100 years ago. And every time a Notbury dies, he comes to escort us into the other world. First you hear the tap of his wooden leg, then the scratch of his iron hook upon the door. But we Nutburys are not afraid.